morning, students. How did you write your exam? Why I am asking you is, I didn't get your paper set from our Kumar. I've been asking since last 5 days. He's telling some Jeras mission problem that and that. He's going to give tomorrow, day after to me. Okay. Hello, sir. Exam Mari. It will take 1 week, 1 more week for us to. Good. Okay. The paper is easy, tough, average. Moderate, but mild, moderate, severe like that. Okay, good. So I think I 1 week time padutundi maaku and paper correct cheyadaniki. Mostly if we get the papers by tomorrow and after, like 1 week from that time. Okay. Okay, coming to today's topic, the facial trauma. In the facial trauma, mainly I'll deal mainly with that nasal part. Okay, like maxilla, nose, nasal bones, and all. Remaining some mandibular fractures and all. If any dental people, they deal with that fractures and all. Okay. Coming to the nasal bone fractures, these are very common. It's a very common injury because of the projection of the nose or the face. Okay. In this, first I want to tell some septal fractures. These names you should know because they may ask you in Viva. Okay. What is Chevrolet fracture? Okay. Chevrolet fracture is a vertical fracture. See, vertical anterior fracture. Can you name these septum parts? It's a quadrangular cartilage, perpendicular plate of ethmoid, and vomer. Okay. This is the fracture line. Vertical anterior fracture runs from the maxillary spine. See here the maxillary spine. From here along the septal fracture up to the nasal bone. Okay. See, this is the nasal bone. Okay. It's the nasal bone. From maxillary spine along the quadrangular cartilage to the nasal spine, nasal bone. Okay. Very little force is sufficient to cause this fracture. Okay. The second one is there's a type 1 fracture. The second one is Georgievais fracture. It's a type 2 fracture. It's a horizontal fracture, unlike the Chevrolet fracture. Horizontal fracture runs parallel to the maxillary crest. Runs parallel to the maxillary crest from maxillary spine to the vomer. I told you, no, this is the vomer. This is the vomer actually. These are type 2 fractures. These are the septal fractures only. The name you should remember. Okay. Today's our topic is very small topic. It's hardly takes some 20 minutes to ask now. Okay. The third one is naso-orbito-ethmoid fractures. It's not much important, but for completion's sake, telling this. Here, the face like pig face. Pig face in a naso-orbito-ethmoidal fracture. Okay. Here, naso-orbito-ethmoidal fracture. This is the fracture line here. It's associated with mainly telecanthus and mainly injury of the nasolacrimal duct. Okay. Injury of the nasolacrimal duct. Okay. Here also 2 types are there, type 3A and B. Here in first type 1, type A, there will be skull base fracture won't be there. In type B, there will be associated with skull base fractures. Okay. It's a naso-orbito-ethmoidal fracture. What are the symptoms of this nasal bone fracture? Okay, mainly deformities, epistaxis. The patient comes to you with epistaxis following trauma, and nasal crepitus. You should see the nasal crepitus. Okay, just on palpation, you will get that crackling sound. It's called nasal crepitus. And external skin lacerations will be there, and periorbital ecchymosis will be there, and mainly nasal blockage. Okay. All of you can see this one. This is the X-ray nasal bone lateral view. This X-ray nasal bone lateral view. Where is the fracture site? See, this is the fracture site of the nasal bone. Okay. Mainly depressed fractures are there will be there. Depressed fractures because of the frontal blow. Okay. And even angulated fractures will be there because of the lateral blow. Okay. Depressed fracture because of the frontal blow, and angulated fracture because of the lateral blow. Okay. How do you treat now? Mainly by the closed reduction. Mainly by the closed reduction. See this one. You can keep this one speculum just below the depressed bone, and you have to give force. See, along this line. Okay. You have to keep it underneath the bone, depressed bone. You have to give force opposite to that, like this. Okay. This is the direction of the force you have to give. Okay. It's a closed reduction. Now the point is when to do the surgery. Okay. The patient got a trauma at 2 p.m. afternoon, and if he comes immediately without the swelling, you can do this closed reduction, because in that half an hour, 1 hour time, that swelling won't be developed. Okay. Once if the swelling or edema develops, you have to wait till the edema subsides. Okay. It will take minimum 3 to 5 days to subside of that edema. Okay. That's why the proper time for doing this closed reduction is around 5 to 10 days. Okay. Once the edema subsides, then only you have to do the closed reduction. And one more thing, if you wait too much time, around 2 weeks or 3 weeks after trauma, it will be very difficult to move the nasal bones, because already fixity of the nasal bone happens after 2 to 3 weeks. That's why, but best time is 5 to 10 days. Okay. This is an important point, practical point. You know the names of the instruments, Welsum forceps and Ashes forceps. I show the diagram on the pictures. See this patient pre-op and post-op pic. See this deformity because of the lateral blow. Okay. Fracture after manual correction. These two instruments are important for your practical and Viva also. Can you name this instrument? Can you name this instrument? Anybody? Where I pointed? First one, I mean to say. Ashes septal forceps. Good. How to identify it? How to identify Ashes forceps? See, A for angle. It has small angle. It's not like straight, like Welsum. Unlike Welsum, it is a little bit angulated. A for angulated. Okay. Ashes forceps. Okay. Ashes forceps for the septum, septal fractures. Welsum, wall. Wall for wall. Wall మీద ఉండేది nasal bone. Okay. This is for nasal bone fracture reduction. This is Ash ends with S. It's like a septal fracture. Okay. Just for remembrance and telling. Okay. These are two are important instruments for nasal bone fracture reduction. Okay, they're important for you in practical. These two, and this the once you put them in the proper alignment, you have to keep some external nasal splint. Okay, for at least 1 week for support. And if there is no external splint, you can use POP also, plaster of Paris. Coming to the zygomatic fractures. Zygomatic fracture also known as tripod fracture. The zygoma is the second most fractured or second most common fracture is the zygomatic fracture. Okay, so mainly because of the trauma, because of direct trauma. It's see this zygomatic process. It will be separated at 3 processes. One is this is at the level of zygomatico-frontal fracture. This is zygomatico-frontal. This is zygomatico-temporal. This is infraorbital. Okay, at 3 sides it can get fractured. If the infraorbital fracture, there will be chance of orbital contents herniate into the maxillary sinus. Here the maxillary sinus, once if there any infraorbital fracture, there will be chance of herniation of orbital contents into the maxillary sinus. What are the clinical features? Mainly flattening of the malar eminence, the flattening of the malar eminence, and the step deformity of the infraorbital margin because of the floor of the orbit involvement, because of the infraorbital fracture. Okay, and anesthesia and the distribution of infraorbital nerve, and trismus because of the lower the involvement condylar part. It's completely lower down over the condylar fossa of the mandible. There is a chance of trismus. Okay, and even oblique palpebral fissure. This is important because the displacement of lateral palpebral ligament, and there will be restricted ocular movements because of that inferior rectus or inferior oblique muscle entrapment because of infraorbital fracture. Okay, mainly treatment is open reduction and internal fixation. All you open the very low incision here. For to reach this part, this zygomatic fracture, you have to give brow incision, extend it, and have to keep some instrument to reduce the just below the zygoma, and you have to keep it reduced. Okay, and you have to keep fixation. And this one infraorbital, what you do fractures. This can continue. This of zygomatic temporal also. For infraorbital fracture, you can give separate incision at the lower lid. Okay. This the treatment is open reduction and internal fixation. You can see the pre-op and post-op picture of the patient of this zygomatic fracture. Okay. Following fracture reduction. See the here narrow palpebral fissure. Okay. Coming to the important question, I may ask you either 2 marks or 4 marks question. What is blowout fracture? Okay, it's a blowout fracture of the orbit. It's a blunt injury orbit. Blunt injury, direct force over the orbit. When if you hit over the orbit, out of the 4 walls, floor of the orbit is little bit weak. Okay, that's why the floor of the orbit, because of weak orbital floor, there will be entrapped neuropathy because of the infraorbital nerve just below the floor. Entrapped neuropathy and entrapped myopathy if the inferior rectus muscle or inferior oblique muscle is involved. Okay, these are the 2 things: entrapped neuropathy because of the infraorbital nerve involvement, entrapped myopathy because of the inferior rectus muscle involvement. Okay. You can see this blow over the orbit, causing the orbital floor fracture, leading to the floor, all the orbital contents going to the maxillary sinus. Okay. What are the signs? Mainly periorbital, you can see the picture. Periorbital ecchymosis, edema and emphysema may also present. And I told you already, infraorbital nerve anesthesia, ophthalmoplegia typically in upward and down gaze, because and then there will be diplopia and anophthalmosis, because that the floor got involved, no, then the globe will go inside. So anophthalmos will be there, diplopia will be there, and hyposthesia. Anophthalmos is because of the floor injury, diplopia because of myopathy, entrapped myopathy, I told you, no, and hypothesia because of infraorbital nerve involvement. Okay, entrapped. What is teardrop sign? Then ask you 2 marks question. Teardrop sign is convex in what is the occipitomental view? Occipitomental view of X-ray PNS shows convex opacity into the maxillary sinus from the orbit. Okay, it's called teardrop sign. How do you confirm it? By CT scan, CT PNS. You can see this is the maxillary sinus, this is the orbit. The contents are herniates into the maxillary sinus. Teardrop sign is on X-ray PNS water flow. There will be convex opacity into the maxillary sinus from the orbit. Okay, it's called teardrop sign because of the blowout fracture of the orbit. Okay, that's a teardrop sign. How do you test this one? There's a forced, one more test is there is a forced duction test. When this ocular globe is there, it can be passively moved, can do passive movements. If any entrapped muscle, either inferior rectus or inferior oblique, the passive movement of the globe cannot be done even after installation of topical anesthetic drops. That passive movement of the globe cannot be done because of entrapped muscle. Okay, that's inferior rectus or inferior oblique. That's called forced duction test. Now coming to the maxillary fractures. Maxillary fractures, these are Lefort's fracture. Okay, the type 1, 2, 3 are there. Coming to the type 1 fracture, maxillary fracture, starts at the lower part of the maxilla. Lower part, see this is the fracture line, lower part of the maxilla, just above and parallel to the palate. Just above and parallel to the palate. And okay, goes along the just parallel and above to the palate. It involves lower part of the septum. It involves lower part of the septum. Obviously, it involves the maxillary sinus. Okay, and finally to the pterygoid plates. That is type 1 fracture. Okay, is also known as Waring fractures. Waring fractures. I want to ask you one question. What is Waring sign here? Waring sign. Anybody? I ask you in Viva. What is Waring sign? Waring sign is hematoma over the hard palate. Okay, hematoma over hard palate seen in this type 1 Lefort fracture because of the rupture of greater palatine artery. Okay, because of the good. that is called Guerin sign. Okay, and coming to Leaford 2, it's the most common type of, that's a pyramidal fracture. That is, first one is transverse fracture. Okay, the pyramidal fracture, you can see this pyramidal fracture is, and most common Leaford fracture is Leaford 2. Okay, starts at the root of the nose, involving the lacrimal bone. Okay, involving the lacrimal bone and flora of the orbit, okay, and upper part of the maxillary sinus, involve the root of the nose, lacrimal bone and flora of the orbit. Okay, and obviously upper part of the maxillary sinus and the pterygoid plates. Okay, coming to the Leaford 3, it's called craniofacial disjunction. Craniofacial disjunction. Here complete separation of facial bones with the cranial bones will be there. Okay, craniofacial disjunction. Okay, here the fracture line starts at the same like root of the nose, pass along the superior orbital fissure and lateral wall of the orbit, not inferior wall. Root of the nose, pass along the superior orbital fissure, involving the lateral wall of the orbit. If it involves the lateral wall of orbit, obviously the maxillofrontal suture line, it involves the maxillofrontal suture line and zygomatico-frontal and ethmofrontal suture line. Okay. Here important one is the chances of CSF rhinorrhea, the chances of cribriform plate involvement also. Okay, even next class I'll tell the important one, this is CSF rhinorrhea and remaining part. Okay, this is Leaford 3. Okay, followed by all the suture lines, followed by pterygoid plates. Okay, the symptoms. Here, mainly the same thing, nasal block, swelling, deformities, ophthalmoplegia type 1, CSF rhinorrhea type 3, and nasal block. Coming to the treatment part, investigations, X-ray PNS is Waters view or Caldwell's view. Waters view is occipitomental view. Caldwell view is occipitofrontal view. And facial bones, you can ask for 3D CT of the facial bones. Okay, these are the main investigations, followed by CT PNS also. Okay, coming to the treatment part. Here, mainly the closed reduction and internal fixation, the same like previous segment fracture, closed reduction and internal fixation with the mini plates. Okay, main thing here in Leaford fracture, we should be careful regarding airway. We have to secure airway, followed by chance of maxillary artery hemorrhage. Chance of maxillary artery hemorrhage will be there. Okay, should be very careful to control the bleeding, maxillary artery hemorrhage, followed by this reduction and internal fixation with the mini plates. That is the treatment of this Leaford fractures. Okay, remaining that this mandibular fractures and all, dental people will deal with that. Okay, and remaining oroantral fistula and all, I already told you. Okay. This is regarding our ENT related to facial trauma. Okay. Small topic. Anybody have any doubts? Here actually main important one is they ask you about blowout fracture. That's important. Okay, teardrop sign is important. This and all you can read simply if any Start mechanics they may ask you, but mainly thing is these two are important. Okay, you should know, but what is Leefort 1, 2, 3. But treatment wise, everything is same almost. With the open connection and the one session. Okay. And may get this also as a tripod fracture. Okay. It's an important one. Practically, we'll get like what is the this one Ashes forceps, what is the Armstrong forceps. When you do the nasal bone fracture reduction, they may ask you Viva. Okay. The next class will this CSF rhinodia remaining topics. Now I think I knows hardly 2 to 3 topics are there for me. I think your seniors, that report by students, I got a timetable for their exam in the November. Just now I got this one. What's the message? It's November 4th, ENT theory. November 21st. These are practicals. Any idea when you are coming to the college? We'll be having practicals for only for third internals. We'll be having practicals. Okay, not for the second internal. Before that, we have to teach you a little bit of practical aspects also. We'll see whether we'll do it offline or online. Hope it's offline. Okay. Anything? You think your exam will be on the same date, or it will get postponed? Final exams I'm talking about. Okay, and then no doubts regarding our topic today. Thank you. I'll stop for today. Okay. Yeah.
అంటే బయట తీసుకుని మొదలు పెట్టాను సార్.
ఆల్రెడీ స్టార్ట్ అయినప్పుడు